Streets around campus are being prepped for the LA Rams Super Bowl parade. We talked to students who may have a hard time getting to class tomorrow.
County USC Medical Center is taking action to combat the nationwide blood shortage, the biggest in more than a decade.
The family of cinematographer Helena Hutchinson has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. We talked to a movie weapons expert about whether safety regulations should be changed.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Preparations are underway for the LA Rams Super Bowl celebration tomorrow, just steps away from campus. Good evening, I'm Tatum Larson.
And I'm Jacob Wheeler. Streets around campus will close as early as 7 tomorrow morning. Barricades are already up along Figueroa in preparation for the big crowds expected tomorrow. Rams coaches, players, and fans will be in attendance. There is already a makeshift stage being put up on the Coliseum grounds. The parade will begin tomorrow at 11 a.m. at the Shrine Auditorium. It will continue on Jefferson Boulevard to Figueroa and then head south to the Coliseum. Some students are concerned the parade will make it tough to get to campus.
That sounds like a nightmare, trying to fit that in between classes. No. I mean, if I make it on time, I'm just going to try to get ready for school or just do some homework I've been putting off till the last moment.
I understand how exciting this is. I'm just confused why they're coming through to the Coliseum, because that really disrupts, our work day, our school day.
The provost sent an email warning students and faculty about possible disruptions to classes. The provost suggested that faculty move some classes online and, if possible, to stay away from campus or reschedule activities for a different day. Annenberg Media will have complete coverage of the Victory Parade. Sports Scene will stream live at 1 p.m. and we'll have more coverage on ATVN at 5:30. Starting tomorrow, the indoor masking requirement for people who are vaccinated will be lifted across the state of California, but not here in LA. The county will not follow the state's lead until COVID-19 transmission rates decrease further. LA County is the only county to keep the indoor mask mandate for both vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals. Health officials anticipate getting rid of the county-specific regulation by the end of March if the number of cases continues to drop and no new variants arise. Starting tomorrow, LA County will lift the mask requirement for attendees at outdoor mega events, such as this past weekend's Super Bowl. This comes in response to declining COVID-19 hospitalization rates now that indicate a moderate transmission level.
The blood supply has been running low across the country. Reporter Chloe Clark shows us how LA County USC Medical Center is trying to help.
The LA County USC Medical Center hosted a mobile blood drive today. The hospital's medical director of transfusion medicine service says their goal is to bolster blood supply for the county.
The blood drive here is to re-engage with the community. The vast majority of our blood supply comes from blood drives like this, where there's a mobile unit that comes to a location that has a high foot traffic area, and people are able to donate in those locations.
According to the American Red Cross, the current nationwide blood shortage is the worst in over a decade. A county medical center clinical lab scientist is concerned about the impact on the local community.
We have seen a lower amount of blood that we're receiving. So the more you guys are able to donate, the more you are saving a life.
With a 62% drop in blood drives at colleges and schools alone, this blood bank serves as a call to action. Beyond just colleges in the city of Los Angeles, the explosive growth of the Omicron variant has fueled a national blood crisis.
During this spike through the Omicron variant, what we have experienced is a severe shortage in the availability of the blood supply, and that has had direct effects on both emergency services and emergency departments in their ability to be able to provide early and adequate care to those critically injured patients.
Under normal circumstances, the Red Cross supplies 40% of the U.S. national blood supply for hospitals. But since the pandemic, the organization has seen a 10% decline in the number of people donating blood. As of January 14, 2022, 68% of blood centers in the U.S. have under 3 days of blood supply.
If you're able to donate blood, platelets, plasma, all that is being used to help people. So you might be that one donor that patient is compatible to.
As De Leon said it, you could end up saving a life. For Annenberg Media, I'm Chloe Clark.
Rick Caruso announced he will be stepping down as chairman of the USC Board of Trustees because he's running for mayor of LA. Caruso has served as chairman since 2018. In an email to the USC community, Caruso said, "Serving as chair has been one of the greatest honors. I am grateful for your support, dedication, and partnership over the last 4 years." Caruso's public safety plan includes adding 1,500 officers to the LAPD, making a force of over 11,000. He also plans to expand the department's gun unit to address gun violence in the city. Caruso also plans to increase LAPD's nearly $2 billion budget.
The family of the cinematographer who was shot and killed on the set of Rust has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. The suit names several people, including actor Alec Baldwin, for, quote, reckless behavior and cost cutting. We want to warn you, the video you're about to see may be hard to watch. Attorneys for the family of Helena Hutchins showed a simulation of the shooting during a press conference today. They argued the production was unsafe, alleging that guns were loaded with ammunition and discharged improperly. Attorneys say the armorers on set were inexperienced and the Hutchinsons' death was due to negligence.
There are regulations and guidelines in place today that should prevent something like this from happening, but they need to be enforced. And had they been followed, this never would have happened. This is so.
A longtime Hollywood stunt coordinator says it's just a matter of following the rules. He says there is no need for additional safety measures.
Anyone has the ability to not follow the rules, right? You simply point a gun where you shouldn't, don't check that it's loaded, don't have the right people, right? You can choose to break all the rules and you will suffer the consequences. So what we'll see is probably more vigilance, but not more rules, more adherence to the rules that existed and that are sufficient.
The lawsuit claims they failed to treat the gun at all times as if it was loaded, failed to keep the gun from pointing towards anyone, and failed to keep finger off the trigger.
This week, UC Berkeley sent an email warning prospective students that the 2022 enrollment rate could be slashed by 5,000 students. A community-led lawsuit claims the neighborhood is too crowded. This new order will force UC Berkeley to cap the enrollment rate at the 2021 school year level of 42,347 prospective students. Prospective students are worried this will hurt their chances of getting in.
Someone who would rank Berkeley in their top 3 schools, I love UC Berkeley. I really want to go there. Hearing that's really disheartening. Students put a lot of time in their applications, not only their applications, but in high school in general.
It makes you more worried about if you're going to be accepted or not, since 5,000 students are not, and you could be one of those. So yeah, I just got more kind of frustrated because there's also nothing you can do about it. So
the president of Save Berkeley's Neighborhoods says that the university's resistance to increasing housing and studying the environmental impact of over-enrollment hurts residents and students.
This university is becoming this kind of corporate entity where it doesn't work well with the community. And so, what we're really fighting for is to get binding commitments from the university to mitigate some of these impacts.
This enrollment cap can lead to a record number of in and out-of-state high school students being denied admission. UC Berkeley has asked for the California Supreme Court to intervene before letters of acceptance are sent out in March. Prospective college students have a new way to rank schools through an online college scoreboard. Students can look at a breakdown of information, including cost and diversity. The scorecard has been updated to include sections on median salary and the percentage of graduates earning more than a person with only a high school education. Here's a look at how USC compares to crosstown rival UCLA. While UCLA has a lower median debt, USC has greater median earnings and a higher percentage of students earning more than a high school graduate. Tensions are still high between Ukraine and Russia. We hear how the conflict is impacting Ukrainians right here in LA.
Today is the last day of Lunar New Year. USC hosted one final celebration with lanterns and traditional snacks.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write them a text or knit them a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write them a letter.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again.
Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
We've heard some glimpse of hope for peace between Russia and Ukraine. Our international reporter Draco Guan has more.
Well, according to the picture and video from the Russian military, they appears to show the tanks pulling back from the Ukraine border. But today, the President Joe Biden said the U.S. had not verified that claim. He also said, quote, an invasion was still a distinct possibility. Russian President Vladimir Putin said he's still open to a diplomatic solution. LA is home for more than 20,000 Ukrainian Americans. Many have been calling for more international support. I spoke with two activists who organized a Stand with Ukraine rally.
What might happen tomorrow? This uncertainty it's very stressful for Ukrainians living here in Los Angeles, that Ukraine is almost at the brink of war.
And we are ready to go outside and protest as many times as it's needed.
Ukraine needs support of international community, and at the same time, Ukraine is a strong country and will stand its ground against Russian aggression.
President Biden says today Russia has amassed more than 150,000 troops near Ukraine border in the recent weeks. World leaders are still concerned Russia could invade Ukraine at any time.
Back at USC, students across campus were feeling some good vibrations on this chilly day. Annenberg Media reporter Mimi Geller is live at Queen's Courtyard where Taiko drum set took place today. Mimi?
I'm here at the Bing Theater where USC's Visions and Voices just hosted a special Japanese Taiko drum performance. It's empty here now, but just about an hour ago, students were listening to the drums that were echoing across campus. I spoke to two band members about the music.
I was a teenager in the late 80s. I was invited to go to Japan and study Japanese drumming. Looked up with Fredo, who's a Latin percussionist, so we just decided to combine our forces together and come up with a new style, a new rhythm of, drumming.
I hope it makes them smile. I hope it makes them move. I hope it makes them want to learn about Taiko because he's a Taiko teacher, or Latin percussion, or just being a musician or a performer.
And just to give them a flavor of something new.
La Casa and Asian Pacific American Student Services co-sponsored this event, bringing this unique music to USC. For Annenberg Media, I'm Mimi Geller. Back to you in the studio.
Well, it looks like spring showers have come a little early this year. Eric, what can you tell us about the weather today?
Thank you, Shane, and we'll get straight to it. Good evening, everyone. I'm Eric Shaw, your weather anchor. It started off as a chilly, rainy day in LA today, and it's still drizzling a little right now. Here are the current conditions. It's partly cloudy with some light rain for the next hour. It's 55 degrees, 52% humidity, and a chance of thunderstorms for 10 p.m. Let's also take a look at the 5-day forecast as well. Temperatures will start to be a little cooler than normal for this time of the year. We're in the mid-60s with dry conditions as well. So if you're heading to the LA Rams Super Bowl victory parade game tomorrow, bring a light jacket. For the lows, we're also going to be in the mid to high 40s, and going to the weekend, temperatures will slowly start to warm up back into the 70s before dipping back to 66 on Sunday. Tonight, other than pulling my hair out from midterm stress, I'll be looking up towards the sky and be talking to the moon, because it's a snow moon. We've got a full moon, guys, and it's the first full moon of the lunar calendar. Today actually marks the last day of the year of the Taiko in the lunar calendar, and the cross-cultural and Asian American students got together today at the Annenberg patio to celebrate the Lantern Festival. There were plenty of red lanterns symbolizing good fortune, and students enjoyed traditional Asian snacks and goodies at the social event. The traditional festival is called Yuanxiaojie in Chinese and Tebrum in Korean. That's what we've got for the Lunar New Year. Rain is rare in Southern California because of the severe drought. So for those of you outside right now, I hope you're enjoying it with an umbrella with you. It's not much, but every drop counts. Well, that's all we've got for the weather. From Annenberg Media, I'm Eric Joy. Over to sports.
USC men's basketball looks to keep the hot streak alive. Spring sports are officially in full swing. We'll check in on tennis and lacrosse. And the Trojans baseball team takes a diamond for opening weekend. All coming up in sports.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay. Yeah. Hey Smokey, catch!
Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Welcome to ATVN Sports. I'm Noah Camrus.
And I'm Hayes Flanagan. Following a dramatic win over UCLA last Saturday, the Trojans turned their attention to this weekend as they look to match up versus Washington and Washington State at the Galen Center. The Trojans are now 21-4 and are looking ahead to the rest of the season as they head into conference play before the Pac-12 tournament in early March. Having a standout game versus UCLA, senior Drew Peterson showed not only his talent, but his leadership on the court.
Thankfully, it was my night tonight, but honestly, anyone on the team can step up. Anyone has been. We have so many guys that can score. We have 4 guys averaging double figures. So, it's thankfully with Isaiah out tonight, everybody stepped up, and it was a real big team win.
Noah, with a conference game versus Washington coming up, how do you see the momentum from the UCLA game carrying into Thursday's matchup?
Yeah, Hayes, I think this is a pretty big win for USC. This was by far their biggest win of the season against UCLA, and they finally kind of have that monkey off their back of not being able to beat a good team. Obviously, they lost to Arizona and Oregon earlier in the year. So I think this is a big win for their confidence, and as they now play Washington State, someone they already beat this year, and Washington, I think they can kind of get that momentum going into the stretch run. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. The confidence is there now as Drew Peterson said earlier, we saw that Isaiah Mobley was not on the court versus UCLA, which was a huge loss, but we saw the leadership and we saw a lot of key players step up in that time. So I think that I'm pretty confident the Trojans can extend their winning streak to 4 after this weekend and hopefully get 2 wins this weekend. So the Trojans have 6 games left before the Pac-12 tournament. What do you think their record will be at the end of the season?
Yeah, so I mean, like we already said, they have Washington State and they have Washington, and those are games that they should definitely win. Then it's Oregon State, who's 3-19, so that should be 3 in a row, and then you kind of get into the tough stretch run. So that's Oregon, who's a good team. They already beat USC in the Galen Center. That's going to be a tough one, but I think they'll go get some revenge in Eugene. Then after Oregon, it's Arizona at home, the number 3 team in the country as of right now, and Arizona already beat USC once, but in that game, USC had a 6-point lead with 6.5 minutes to go, and then they kind of fell off. So I think that they should be able to hopefully find a way to kind of win that game, and obviously it's a winnable one. And then it's UCLA at Pauley Pavilion. Obviously they just beat UCLA here, but I don't know if that's going to be the one. So I kind of think they might go somewhere in the 5-1 range, finish at 26-5. What about you, Hayes?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 4-2. I think it's going to be really hard to get those on the road wins versus Oregon, who they lost to at the Galen Center, and to UCLA. The Pauley Pavilion is going to be lit up with UCLA fans, and I just don't see USC getting the win. But I do think that they'll get those wins that they need and fall just where they need to be before the Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah, it'll definitely be exciting to see. And speaking of excitement, USC men's tennis is in Seattle with their sights set on a trophy. The Trojans kick off their big week tonight with a matchup against Portland. Then on Friday, as one of the top 16 teams in the country, they'll compete in the 2022 ITA National Team Indoor Championship. The 10th-seeded Trojans start the single elimination event with a matchup against the 7th-seeded Kentucky Wildcats. They'll need to string together 4 straight wins to secure the trophy, and will be looking to win their 5th tournament overall and 2nd in 3 years.
The USC women's lacrosse team started their season on the right foot with an 18-7 win over San Diego State at Sony McAllister Field on Saturday. The women of Troy came out strong, scoring the first goal of the game. Freshman attacker Isabel Vitale was on fire, racking up 3 goals before the first half was even over. Other notable contributions were made by sophomore Claudia Shevitz with 12 draw controls and 2 goals, and goalie Kat DeVere, who made 9 saves for the Trojans. The team is headed south for a game against Jacksonville on Friday and Mercer on Sunday.
It's time for Trojan baseball. Coming off a disappointing 25-26 season, the 12-time national champion USC Trojans begin their season this weekend on their quest for their first national title since 1998. The Trojans opened their season with a weekend series against the Santa Clara Broncos, who finished last season with an 18-33 record. First pitch is Friday night at 6, while Saturday and Sunday's games are 2 p.m. and 1 p.m. respectively. I know I'm looking forward to heading over to Dedeaux Field to watch USC baseball this weekend, and that will wrap it up for sports. Coming up, 2 School of Dramatic Arts productions had to cancel their opening shows, how they're preparing for their new opening nights when we come back.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles. Rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
They're known as the Divine Nine, the 9 historically black fraternities and sororities. They have been celebrating all week all over the USC campus. The plan is to have one event every day this week. Some are social, some are more professional. They were going to set up an information table at Tommy Trojan tomorrow, but that may have to be rescheduled due to the Rams' victory parade.
NPHC Week is really just a celebration all of our existences and really to just elevate our visibility at the USC campus.
Showcasing each org of the NPHC and their respective presences on campus. Part of our mission is just furthering education and also the importance of maneuvering the workplace correctly. I think you get a lot from this organization. You get so much opportunity, so many mentors around you, so many people who's been there, done that, and can give you great insight with many different perspectives.
These are the 9 fraternities and sororities in the National Pan-Hellenic Council. Members say that being a part of this organization has been a life-changing experience, and everyone is welcome to join.
Sometimes the show simply cannot go on. USC School of Dramatic Arts canceled 2 performances this past weekend because of COVID complications during the rehearsal process. Students were set to perform Seize the King in a 6-show run starting last Saturday. SDA decided to push the maskless technical rehearsals until after USC saw a decline in COVID cases. Everyone involved in SDA productions are tested 3 times a week per new protocols.
We created a more compressed tech schedule, which was still able to be accomplished by our amazing team of designers and our crew. And we felt that it was as important to try to keep those 6 performances for the actors if we could, and fortunately we were able to.
The canceled performances of Seize the King were rescheduled and the show opens tomorrow night at 7:30. Blade to the Heat, another SDA production, opens on Thursday at 7:30. And Tatum, that show ain't going on, but I will be at that parade tomorrow for the LA Rams.
Nice. Well, as a former theater kid, I might have to be at that performance, so I think we're going to be at 2 very different events tomorrow.
Thanks for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Jacob Wheeler.
And I'm Tatum Larson. For more coverage, watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Annenberg Media. Good night.